What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. Sorry for calling you here so urgently. No big deal, nothing going on really. Just want to talk to you a little bit. Uh, how excited are you guys for Metroid Prime 4? Pretty excited? If you haven't heard or seen what's going on, you're in for a surprise, I guess, somewhat. But yeah, please do me a huge favor and just smash the like button for me. We got almost 100 people already here. Let's get the like button way up there. Get everyone in here. Hope you're having a good night. This was unexpected, of course. So, as you know, we've been waiting for information on Metroid Prime 4, and it looks like we got some very, very key information. Shoutouts to Joey, Ferris Wheel Pro there. For the heads up, I also did some digging. I found some additional information as I posted on social media there. Thank you, Michael Parker, for the $10 super chat. Best Metroid Prime 4 coverage on YouTube, hands down. Thank you. I try my best. Let's get some Metroid music going like I do. Metroid music. Yeah. All right. So thank you all for coming out. Yeah, smash the like button for me. We're getting up there, almost to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes before we get to the topic? I think you guys can do that, right? Everyone watching, just hit the like button. I want to give people a chance to come in. Just smash the like button as much as you can. As soon as we get to 100 likes, then we will start talking about the information. I just want people to have an opportunity to not miss this live. If we gives people just a chance to come in, you know. Really appreciate you guys. But yeah, like the information has been kind of slow with Nintendo. People have been kind of, getting a little upset out there with the lack of information and transparency from Nintendo, right? About what's going on with Metroid Prime 4. When's it coming out? We don't know, blah, blah, blah. But some very key, information needs to happen really before, Nintendo can actually confirm a release date, and I do think that now basically we kind of have it. We kind of have some very solid information now, just pretty much confirmed by Nintendo themselves. Yeah, we're getting there. We're almost 200 likes already. We got. It looks like I'm seeing 70 here so far, right? Please no delay. Yeah, no chance of delay. Anticipation fatigue. Yeah, let's do some shout outs real quick here. I want to recognize you guys here. Thank you for all your support on the channel. We've been covering this game for ever since it was in rumor phase. We rumored it here on the channel. It was announced at E3 2017. It got restarted in development, delayed in 2019. Covering development of it ever since then. Little by little, every morsel of detail, every like little piece of information we could possibly get, we've been hoping, to glean some light on this game, right? So now it's finally upon us. It's going to be coming out very, very soon. Welcome, Michael Thomas, First Instinct, Mark Rusthow, Bismarck, ETR, Poke UFO, Joey Ferris, of course, Surplex77, Classic Hits Gaming, Skills for Kills, Alma, Atomic Tycoon, Waffle Boy, Oscar, of course. Welcome, Oscar. Michael Thomas, Michael Parker, Ateg, Phazon Flakes, or something like that. Radon. See, Brock, Moth Knight, Discomfort, Murph, Mark Gilmore, Dom GC, Visage P. All right, Oscar 2564. Yeah, you are a mod. You do have a name. Thanks for doing what you do, Edward. Shoutouts to all you guys. We're getting closer to 100 likes. We got over almost 150 people watching. Can we get to 100 likes, guys? We're getting close. All right, let's see. How about we will cover the information here at 7:15, or basically at the 15 after the hour. So wherever you're at, 15 after the hour, it's 12 after the hour. We'll do it in 3 minutes, okay? So in 3 minutes, we'll start covering the news, give everyone a chance to come in, hit the like button, and get it to 100 likes. We have 3 minutes, and then we'll start talking about it, okay? Give you guys a nice time range so we don't wait too long. Always happy to be amongst my fellow Metroid fans. Wonder if Switch 2 Edition will be on the title screen like that. Hopefully not. It might be. You want Deathmatch? Welcome, Jason Box. Hamiltron. I'm Anish. No, I moved. I moved to Illinois. I mentioned that multiple times. I moved here in April of 2024. I've been here for almost a year and a half now. Lost interest in Silk Song? Crossing my fingers, maybe more hunters and Psylocke to be in the game. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 could be literally shadow dropped at the exact same time by Nintendo. They would have no qualms at all in doing that. I'm sure they would be focused on Metroid Prime 4 advertising, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and then remastered. I'm sure they will bundle that in a deal or something like that and say, here, play all 3 games if you haven't tried them already. But, you know, here's the big one. Here's Metroid Prime 4. So, all right. So, yeah, we'll cover the information. Can we get one more like? At least one more like. I'm sure we'll get one more like, right? Okay, we got to do 100 likes before 7:15. My time. Whatever time it is, your time. Congrats. But yeah, thank you for the engagement, and we 100 likes. Okay. All right, so the big news. (2:14 a.m.) Yeah, wherever you're at, guys. Thank you for coming out and for being ready to share my excitement with me, because I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited too once you see what we're going to talk about. Okay, the time has come. Okay. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. Got to turn the other thing off when I change screens. There we go. Here's the big news. This is just part of it. Right here, the game has been rated in the United States, North America now, T for teen, with animated blood and violence with in-game purchases. Okay? You know what that means? This game is very likely coming out this year, very, very soon, within the next couple months, meaning anytime now. Could be next month, could be October, could be November, could be December, but it's most definitely coming out in 2025. I think we know that. But we'll discuss all this, guys. But not only it wasn't rated in North America T for teen, it was also rated PEGI 12 in Europe. Oh, so they're going all the regions. PEGI 12. Release date 2025. Switch 2. Languages: English, German, French, Spanish, Dutch, Italian, Japanese, Chinese, Korean. So, I am really excited because I think, you think it's been rated in Europe for a while now? Okay. Well, but still, they have it right here rated, right on the website, even without the picture, even without this. But I do think we are going to be getting a Metroid Prime 4 Direct. It could be as soon as next week. It could be as soon as a couple days from now. It could be next month. But I do think this means that this game is definitely coming out in 2025. It's been rated in North America, teen, animated blood and violence. I don't know what kind of blood. Purple blood, green blood, space pirate blood. Did Metroid Prime have like blood, right? Didn't it kind of like on the aliens? But yeah, stuff like I'm sure it's gonna have like the typical kind of stuff to make it teen. But yeah, so shout outs to Joey Ferris. He posted this. He posted this on Twitter earlier, and then I looked into the European website as well, and they have it rated. Along with that, but actually giving detailed information about why it's rated teen on the actual rating itself. Because remember, this was it was rated yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see this until today, and nobody mentioned it. But I think it was. If it was rated yesterday, it could have been lost in the shuffle because of Gamescom. All the big events from yesterday. So probably nobody mentioned it or noticed it until today when they did some more digging. Looks like Joey found it on Facebook. He said, I saw someone in a Facebook group post the rating, and I was surprised to see it on Twitter, so I posted it yourself. Yeah. Thank you for doing that. So that means, because if you recall, we had Metroid Prime 4 rated in Korea, and it was back in mid-July that they rated it in Korea for basically it was 16 years old or in the teen range as well for Korea back in July. So for a comparison's sake, if you want to talk about ratings, I want to show that. If you want to talk about ratings, the back when Demon Souls was rated back in the day, I remember this very, very closely. That Demon Souls is rated in Korea for PlayStation 5 August 13th, 2020. And why is this substantial? Well, it's because the game was released November 12th, 2020 on PlayStation 5 as a launch game just 3 months later. Okay? So this is a very good sign because Metroid Prime 4 was rated in Korea, and I forgot what date it was, but it was like mid-July 2025 by the same place in Korea. So usually it's about 3 months or so from when it's rated. And this was on nearly exactly 3 months from when they rated it in Korea. They released it in North America on PlayStation 5 3 months later for Demon Souls in 2020. Metroid Prime 4 was rated in Korea mid-July, and now it's rated in the United States. Someone said it was as of yesterday. This is the first time seeing it. So, United States, T for teen, animated blood, violence, in-game purchases, and it's been rated in the UK for PEGI 12. Listed as coming out in 2025. So, yeah, this was rating pending. This was RP for a while. This was this always has shown RP when they showed like the box art and like the promotional materials. It was always RP, rating pending. Now it's T for teen. And so yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to be the release date? You think September? That'd be awfully quick. Do you think October? Maybe around Halloween time? Maybe, possibly. Because when does Pokemon come out? And because it's not unheard of for Nintendo to release 2 games in October or November for a holiday. In fact, they've done it before. Because especially since October 16th is Pokemon. So yeah, so like they could easily release Metroid Prime like on Halloween or something like that, because it's like a darker kind of game, and 2 weeks apart from Pokemon's different kind of game, and then have Kirby in November, and then we're just spitballing ideas, and then they can have the Hyrule Warriors game in December. That's just my guess. Or they could have Metroid Prime 4 come out in November, in early November, maybe. September will be for Mario's 40th. Yeah, but they haven't announced anything, though. You would think if they're going to do something big for Mario's 40th anniversary, they would do something. They would announce something by now, which I'm not saying they won't, but they're running out of time for it. Like any new game, they might have a re-release of something, maybe. I don't know, but we will see. Pokemon is huge, but I don't think it would get too much in the way of Prime 4 sales. October could work. Yeah, and mainly because the audience is in no way related to Pokemon, right? Like somebody who's waiting to buy Metroid Prime 4 is not gonna be canceling their purchase because they want to buy Pokemon instead. This just doesn't make any sense, right? So I think that's a pretty good That's a pretty good range. You could say very last week of October, first week of November is a very strong possibility. But I just don't see it coming in 2026 or being delayed at this point. Not when they're rating it, guys. In all regions, Korea, North America, EU, Peggy 12, T for teen, 16 and up, or whatever it was in Korea, something like that. So, yeah, I just don't see it being delayed at this point. And they have the game on display. It's the same demo at Gamescom. In fact, Destin here, he posted some footage of him playing the game. And I don't know if YouTubers actually do this on purpose these days, this enhanced bitrate thing for premium, but I think this is stupid. Just post your full quality stuff if you have a choice. But yeah, I would never, if I ever do like a membership thing, I would never force this on anybody if I have a choice to. It's so dumb. But yeah, here's the actual title screen of Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 edition. But I don't think this is the actual final build of the game, obviously, because if you press A here, it goes right into the demo. So I don't think this is going to be where, like, this is not the official, like, full release of the game. Because, like, obviously you need to have option menus and whatever, like that. So, like, but that's kind of, someone said, I hope it doesn't have Switch 2 edition in the title. Well, there it is. But like I said, we don't know if this is not the final version of the game, but it is. This is how they're like showing it here. Press A to start. I actually haven't seen this before because on the Treehouse Live, on Treehouse Live they didn't show that. They went right into the black screen with the Cosmic Gear 20X9. I don't think you can control the premium bitrate thing. Really? Well, then how come on my videos I never have that option ever? Like, I have never had this pop up for any of my videos that I posted. And, I'm not the like big channel or anything, but I'm also not a tiny baby channel either with like 1,000 subs. I have 36,000 subscribers. So you would think that if YouTube wanted to take advantage of this with my channel, they would, but there is no videos like this on my channel. So I don't know. I don't know if these channels have the choice or not, but I don't know. It's only if they're uploaded at 30 frames per second? Wow, okay. Well, that's something I'll never do. No, but I have seen other videos that have this with 60 frames per second too, Joey. Definitely, I have seen that. So I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. But like on the Treehouse Live, they have full on 4K, 60 frames per second, no qualms, no issues there. Big channel energy. Yeah, thanks. Calling 1K subs a tiny baby channel is pretty big-headed. Well, I mean, I also have a tiny baby channel myself too, on my second channel. It's not really it's not an insult. It's just, it is what it is. In the grand scheme of things, my channel, 36,000 subs, is also a tiny baby channel as well, compared to other channels with like, million subscribers. It's just, it is what it is. My second channel, I have like 1,4 thousand subs. Baby channel. I actually call it the baby channel. Subscribe to my baby channel. Can't wait to play this part with their soundbar. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Metroid Prime 4. What do you guys think is going to be the in-game purchases? We could have, it could be a variety of things, right? You could have, it could be like, I hate to say it, like it could be like things you wouldn't really want to pay for, like skins, you know, but I don't really know if Nintendo would do that with Metroid Prime 4. Fusion Suit. Yeah, you know, that might be something maybe. Like you're thinking along the lines of other game crossovers. Yeah, I could see something like that. Metroid Dread Suit, Fusion Suit. It could be cosmetic. Yeah, it could be multiplayer stuff related. Maybe if there is multiplayer, they haven't announced. We haven't had a dedicated like full on direct for this yet. We don't know if there's multiplayer, but in game purchases, I'm not sure what that will be. There might not be any. Apparently, Mario Wonder has the same thing in its rating. So why would they put it there in the rating if they don't have anything? That doesn't make any sense. You're not making sense, Joey. But yeah, like maybe they're leaving it open to the possibility of having something. Maybe there's a DLC expansion. Maybe there's Ghost Data and Mario Wonder needed NSO. Oh, that might be true. If it does take advantage of Switch Online and it has multiplayer mode, that would require in-game purchases. You're right. So yeah, that could be something. Yeah, Dwayne, I can see your comments. There's a lot of people chatting. Welcome. A lot of people chatting. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm doing well. Yeah, we have almost 300 people here. Yeah, and people are chatting it up. Thank you for your engagement, hitting the like button. Yeah, so the big news, if you missed it, Metroid Prime 4 has been rated in all regions. T for teen in United States, North America, Peggy 12 in the EU, and I think it's like 16 or something like that age rating in Korea. And you know what that means, right? If it's rated in all regions, it's probably coming out within the next 3 months or so, which means we're thinking it could be as soon as November, it could be the end of October, right? No new info. Yeah, the new info is you've lost your ability to chat, buddy, because you're an idiot. Literally just told you what the new info is. Yeah, and animated blood, violence, in-game purchases. This is all brand new information today. Breaking, the reason why this is such big news and the reason why I called you guys all here and the reason why I'm so excited is because this pretty much confirms, yeah, even though we already kind of were assuming and knowing it was coming out in 2025, this pretty much solidifies it even without the release date. I know it sounds crazy, but you know, it's one of those things that when you got a rating like this in all regions, you know it's going to be coming out this year, and we're just waiting for Nintendo to have their dedicated like presentation for this, right, guys? Tommy Tycoon, are you trying to get my attention with something? You said, "Come on, Dave." Oh, pay to unlock 120 frames per second. ESRB rating that indicated in-game purchases was later explained as a standard feature in the ESRB system that accounts for the potential of online service purchases. Yeah. So, does every single game have this, guys? I haven't noticed this on other teen-rated games. Maybe I haven't paid attention, but does every single game that is rated teen these days on Switch and Switch 2 say this? Or or am I just, or is that just something that has happened recently? Oh yeah, thanks, buddy. Joey, have a good one. Oh, ban that guy from chat. Yeah, yeah. There's gonna be guys like that. There's no new info. I'm like, dude, literally, there's brand new info right in front of your face. Get out of here. Um, I'm gonna butcher your name, buddy, but thank you for the €5 super chat. Uh, Aluxi Paradigm. It's happening, boys. I got the tingles. Keep at it, Dave. Thanks, buddy. I know I butchered your name. Like literally right in front of your face, there's new information right there. Brand new information. Nope. No, nothing's going on. There's no new info. All clickbait. Yeah, get out of here. I don't think we're getting Prime 2 and 3, but who knows? Don't underestimate the power of the shadow drop. And as sad as that is for Metroid Prime 2 and 3, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to settle for that or nothing at this point. I don't see why they would just release it next year. If they're releasing Metroid Prime 4 now, that makes no sense. But Metroid Prime Remastered was their big play, pretty much. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 didn't sell as well. They weren't as big games as Metroid Prime 1 was. Even though we all love those games, and we do, a lot of us here have a really special place in our heart for Metroid Prime 2, right? So, it's unfortunate, but Nintendo has to put their eggs all in the Metroid Prime 4 basket, right? So likely they will be doing a shadow drop for Metroid Prime 2 and 3. And if they do release it on GameCube NSO, they will leave out Prime 3 because they have no Wii Prime, they have no Wii NSO stuff. So either they shadow drop it or they don't release it at all at this point because we're running out of time and I don't see them handling it in another way. But for sure, people will get a chance to play those games. I would say either way. If Nintendo is very thorough in their releases when they release newer games on consoles. So like Pikmin 4, they re-released the old games first, and they shadow dropped 1 and 2 HD. So, you know, I don't see them not doing that with Metroid Prime 2 and 3. I could see them easily doing that. If for whatever reason they don't do that, that is a big shame on them for not doing that. But I don't want to make any assumptions and jump to like a negative conclusion. We don't know yet. We need to wait for an actual like Metroid Prime 4 like general direct, or have the information in a direct itself. If they don't have a general direct for Metroid Prime 4, we should definitely wait before assuming that we won't be getting Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Okay, guys? So let's hold off on assuming it's not happening. Just wait for their big reveal of all the rest of the information that we need, release date, the next trailer, whatever they needed to do for marketing for this game. They will likely bundle in the marketing they need to do for Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. I've been saying this for a while now. Maybe they will rebundle all 3 games into one big package. They'll include Metroid Prime 2 and 3 if you purchase Metroid Prime Remastered, and they'll just raise the price to $60 or $70, like $69.99, instead of selling Metroid Prime Remastered by itself, and they'll charge at a discounted price for 2 and 3 if they include it in a trilogy package. That's just my guess as how they could get everyone to buy or rebuy or buy for the first time the trilogy before Metroid Prime 4 comes out, to give it at a discounted price if you buy all 3 at the same time. That's just my idea. I believe Metroid Prime 4 in September. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Poke UFO. I mean, I would love for that. I don't personally believe that's going to happen. I think it's too soon. Not too soon for me or you. We want to play it now. But for marketing and like time to get retailers ready and all that stuff, I think that's a little too soon. But unless you're talking about Metroid Prime 4 like direct in September, I could go with that. But as far as them, I just can't see them shadow dropping or like dropping the game that soon. If they do, that might not be super great for sales. It'd be great for us, but not super great for sales. I don't know. So, Oscar, you said he wanted a physical copy of Metroid Prime Remastered 2 and 3 if Shadow dropped. Yeah, for sure, man. I would love for them to do physical copies of all those games. Will they do it though? I don't know. I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, we got to think of the big picture and not just rating it. Rating it is great. You know, like rating the game right now is pretty much the indicator that we're getting it this year, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming out tomorrow or like next month. Usually, like we brought out with Demon Souls, we talked about this Demon Souls rating way back in 2020. It was rated in Korea August 13th, 2020 for PS5, and it was released on November 12th, 2020 on PS5, 3 months later. And Metroid Prime 4 was rated in Korea in mid-July 2025. So we could be looking at a late October release or an early November release for Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Dread did very well, releasing, I believe it was October 11th, 2021, right? Or was it October like 9th? Around that time range. Like it was like earlier in October they released Metroid Dread, and it sold over 3 million copies on Switch 1. Granted, they have Pokemon coming out, I believe October 16th, someone said earlier. So, yeah, Smelly Bondo Ape. October 28th is definitely possible, the same day as the art book. Yeah, the art book comes out the end of October. We did a video talking about this because of the art book being pushed back to end of October. It could indicate that's when the release is for Metroid Prime 4, around that time range as well. Can't be early November because of Kirby. Kirby doesn't come out until November 20th, and it's a completely different genre of game, completely different franchise, completely different audience. So I would say don't rule out early October, and don't rule out late October. Don't rule out early November, and don't rule out late October. Nintendo has released multiple games in the past in the same month, spread out for the holidays. They've done that in the past pretty much on all their consoles. So don't rule that out. And these games are completely different types of games. Pokemon's totally different. Metroid Prime is totally different. Kirby's totally different. Hyrule Warriors is totally different too. But that game is also probably going to come out at the end of, probably like mid-December or something like that is my guess, as the very end last game of the year. But yeah, Metroid Prime 1 came out I think, yeah, mid to late November 2002, and the same for Metroid Prime 2 on GameCube 2004, mid to late November. I don't have the exact dates in front of me. Someone can look them up. But yeah, releasing Metroid Prime in November has been what they've done for the two out of the three first games. Metroid Prime 3 came out August 25th, 2007. So, yeah. I know about Kiwi Talks. I chatted with him a couple times on Twitter. Um, yeah, that's he's a good guy. But yeah, I don't really need to listen to him for information on Metroid Prime 4 because he self-admitted doesn't really know 100% for sure stuff on that game. and he says he's not a leaker, and then he tries to say he knows information. So yeah, I'm not gonna go there with him really. So he's nothing against him though. He's fine. So yes, I am excited for Metroid Prime 4, and I'm excited for this new information, breaking news today of the game being rated T for teen with animated blood, violence, and in-game purchases on Switch and Switch 2. Peggy 12, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Switch 2 Edition in EU and in Korea. All the places. It's ready to go, guys. The game is ready. Yeah, he has insight. All is pure speculation. People call him a leaker for no reason. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. It's one of those things where like when people leak stuff or like rumor stuff or talk about development stuff, especially for Metroid Prime 4, I don't really, unless they're a confirmed developer or unless they are like some type of like legit insider about the game, I don't pay much attention to it because I've done my own research on the game for years now. I myself actually rumored this game even existed back in 2017. Nobody believed it back then either. When this channel rumored Metroid Prime 4 was being announced at E3 2017, people didn't want to believe it. We actually rumored that Metroid Samus Returns was being announced at E3 as well. 2 Metroids. We got those rumors right, but like I'm not the type of guy that I don't need to have my content based on rumors. So like the rumor stuff is more like a side thing of what could happen sometimes when you research information enough, you find out certain things. But I'm more about looking into information and researching it and providing insight on stuff. You were a believer back then? Cool, man. Nate the Hate talked about Metroid Prime 2 Remastered coming out relatively soonish, and then Rio sent it back in 2022. That Metroid Prime Remastered was rumored to come out, like, Metroid Prime Trilogy was rumored to come out in 2018, and then Metroid Prime Remastered was rumored to come out, like, in 2021, 2022. All these games have been rumored so much over the years, and they never came out. The only one that came out was Metroid Prime Remastered. That was rumored by Jeff Grubb to come out in like late 2022, and that was wrong, but it did eventually come out, of course. But yeah, like this channel rumored Metroid Prime 4 to be announced at E3 2017. That was true. And we also rumored a second Metroid to be announced at E3, and that was true as well. But like I said, if you base all your content just on rumors, you're not going to get too far because it's impossible to get every rumor right, and you're just going to make people angry after a while if you keep rumoring stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like eventually you're going to make a lot of people upset. And I would rather just have information that I post be real the first time, and that's what I've been focusing on for years now. And if you watched my 15-year anniversary YouTube stream, was it last week or weekend? Yeah, 10 days ago or so, 12 days ago. I talked about how when I first started posting like information and stuff like that, it was all based on real information then too. Like the first like Nintendo NX stuff when my channel got big was all based on real info. It wasn't just rumors. So that was kind of cool how that kind of been doing a full circle here on the channel for the past few years. But yeah, man, this has been years in the making. And I am really excited for this finally to be coming out. And it's going to be really a huge special event on the channel. And it looks like we're going to be doing it this year, if you can believe it. Finally, we're going to be playing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond this year. Like, it's crazy. Love the speculation talk too. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I love speculating on stuff. What I've been doing is basically like, like researching information, finding real information, posting it, and then we can speculate on the information, and then discuss it. And I think that's fun, especially when you're like researching and finding new information other people haven't found. It's almost like it becomes your own. You know what I mean? Even though it's not even a rumor, it's just real. Here's real info for you. Like, oh, cool. I like real info. Do you think Prime 4 will be open world-ish? No. I think it'll be like open, like wide linear, just like any other Metroid Prime game is. Like Metroid Prime 3 was wide linear, right? Like you have a big open spaces, or big-ish open spaces, but not like an open world game. And then like everything connects, and like you backtrack and you connect the other area, and it can feel like a very connected world in that sense. So yeah, like zones, 10,000 noodles. Like Metroid Prime Remastered is a great example, or Metroid Prime in general is a great example of the game feeling like almost like an open world at the end of the game, because you've unlocked all the doors, you've connected all the paths, and it feels like one big gigantic connected world, right? So in that sense, it can, at the very end of these games, it can feel like you're exploring a big, vast open world because you've unlocked all the ways to get through the world. That's the beauty of Metroid and Metroidvania type of games, Metroid Prime. But you feel isolated because you're trapped at first, and then you have to find your way out, basically, and expand the world open. That's the beauty of these games, like figuring out how to get behind that locked door, or how to open up that next area, because you can't get there right now. So you got to go around and go search around and do other things first. Then, oh my gosh, I got the plasma beam. Now I can open up that door that way back there that I couldn't get to before. I wonder what's back there. And that's the beauty of Metroid. And then while you're doing that, you're listening to this like beautiful like music, and you're discovering new things on your way there. You're unlocking other abilities and other like items, and on the way back there, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I have my missiles, my special missile now, my super missile. I can blow this up now on my way back to the other door that I couldn't open before, because now that I have this upgrade, I can get all this cool stuff. It makes every area feel like it's new again that you're backtracking to. That's the good Metroid Prime. And they went a little overboard with that with Metroid Prime 2 in some aspects, and some people didn't like that because there was so much of it. So much backtracking to the same areas to get different items later on in the game. But if you know the game by heart at this point, like I do, you can get through those parts really quickly, and it doesn't feel so burdensome. But for new players, Metroid Prime 2 in particular, felt like a big chore, especially towards the end, because you had to go backtrack, do a lot of searching for those keys and everything. It was a hassle for a lot of people. In the dark world, it was very dark, so people got lost. It's supposed to be fun, by the way, right? Getting lost in Metroid games is supposed to be fun because you're enjoying exploring. But for certain aspects, for certain parts of games like Metroid Prime 2, some people didn't enjoy that as much because they weren't enjoying being stuck and lost in these backtracking moments. But personally, I love Metroid Prime 2. It's my second favorite game of the series. Very, very close second to Metroid Prime 1, and then like kind of farther down is Metroid Prime 3. Definitely a fantastic game, but like definitely not as good as the first two games either. Just because of the direction they went with the game. Metroid Prime 4 rated in the United States. Yep. That's the big news. And it's also rated in PEGI 12 in the EU. But yeah, rated T for teen, animated, blood, violence, in-game purchases. that's why this is big news, is because we pretty much know now that we're getting this game in 2025, even though they've been saying it over and over again. The big issue that people have had is that Nintendo hasn't given us the exact date yet. So I do think a Nintendo Direct specific for Metroid Prime 4 is right around the corner. It could be next week, could be early September. We don't know. But I'm very, very excited. And we talked about the timeline of how games are rated. We gave Demon Souls on PlayStation 5 in 2020 as an example. 3 months from when it was rated, it was released in Korea. So yeah, like we have a very good, very, very extremely high probability that we'll be playing Metroid Prime 4 probably in November, late October, early November is my guess. I don't see why they would go and now rate the game. Somebody said earlier it was confirmed rated in North America yesterday, but people missed it because of Gamescom. All the news flying around. But I don't see why they would go and rate it now if they were about to delay the game to next year or something like that. I don't see why they would go and rate it now if they were doing that and still having it playable at Gamescom. So yeah, it's very likely coming out, as we know, as they say, this year. And we'll be playing it. That's why I'm so excited, and that's why I did this stream with you guys to discuss this. Somebody was saying earlier that in-game purchases. Did anybody answer my question? I asked if do all teen games or all games in general have this in-game purchase thing at the bottom of them now? I don't remember if anybody found out if that was really the case for every single game, because I don't recall every single game saying this in-game purchases. But I could be wrong. I could have missed it. Keep in mind, though, for Metroid Prime 3, I don't think the game is bad by any means. I think it's a fantastic game. I just don't think it's quite on par with 1 and 2. Do you think it'll be a 20-hour long game? Yes. Probably for me, my first time through, for Prime 4, it'll probably be like a 30-hour game. Usually I take a lot longer my first playthrough, and then I refine my replayability of the games, and then I'll whittle it down to like 10 hours. Donkey Kong Bonanza listed as in-game purchases. Okay. Why do you think they don't get released it yet? Well, probably because they need to give you the opportunity to pre-order it, which means they have to give you a reason to, which also means that we're going to have to do a presentation to show you what the game's about. So we just had the Kirby Direct, and at the very end they gave you the release date. They told you to pre-order it, all that stuff. So since they don't have the option for you to pre-order it yet, I would say they're waiting to give you all the information all at once, just like the Kirby Direct, how they did that. They gave you the date, they gave you the pre-order now thing, the wish list, what have you, pre-order bonuses, maybe any amiibos they have, any marketing, right? So they'll probably all do that in their presentation they'll have planned for Metroid Prime 4, and then you'll be able to pre-order, and you'll know the date of when you'll get it because you can pre-order it. It's kind of like what Nintendo's been doing lately, right? So, yeah, I would say this game's either coming out the very end of October, early November, or at the very, very latest in December. But from how games are rated to release, it's usually about 3 months. So November could be a safe bet. It could be early November since it's a different enough game from Kirby. Different enough game from Pokemon that its sales are not going to be affected whatsoever. In fact, releasing it in early November will only increase sales for Metroid Prime 4, big time. Yeah, Nintendo's not afraid to delay a game, that's for sure. They've already restarted the development of this game, though, back in 2019. It's been over 6 years in development with Retro Studios, and it's been rated in North America as of yesterday. Chances are highly likely it's coming out probably in November of this year. Kirby looks beast. Oh yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out. So yeah, we could be getting a Metroid Prime 4 Direct next week, next month, but very, very soon. Or we could be getting a general Nintendo Direct with a big spotlight on Metroid Prime 4 in it as well. We'll have to wait and see. But we have to remember, though, too, that even though like we seem to know like what Nintendo does because of Switch 1, this is still a brand new generation. So this is the first time they ever did a 45-minute Nintendo Direct on one game, I think, right? Have you ever done a nearly 1 hour Direct on one game? Maybe, how long was the Direct for Breath of the Wild in 2016? I don't even think it was 40. I don't think that was 45 minutes long, was it? So, like, I'm pretty sure... Oh, Smash Ultimate? Yeah. But, I mean, like... Sakurai, right? So... Normally, though, like, for a Kirby game... For these games, you know, normally you would never get a 45-minute Direct for any of these games. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The only one I heard of was 45 before it was Smash, but that must be a Sakurai thing. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe Nintendo's like, yeah, you know, do the Direct for as long as you want. Because that Kirby Direct did look very similar to Smash Brothers. Like the font and like the announcer and everything was very much Smash Brothers, Smash Ultimate. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, actually. I learned a lot of Kirby. It looked really fun. I probably will be picking that game up, to be honest with you, but for sure we'll be playing this big time. I agree with you, Mark. I don't want to see much Prime 4 either before it's released. Not too much. There's no reason to do a 45-minute Direct on Metroid Prime 4. A specific Direct, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. Even maybe just 15 minutes. I would take that. I think that would be a perfect amount of time, a 15-minute Direct focused on Metroid Prime 4. They could cover everything, the price, the release date. I think we know the price. It's probably going to be $69.99 for the Switch 2 version. But yeah, they cover the release date, pre-order information, certain updates about the game, about maybe they want to share some key elements about the story that maybe it will give you more enticement to players to play the game. Also, probably shadow dropping Metroid Prime 2 and 3 at the same time, and then releasing a trilogy package in that Direct. I'm just spitballing here, right? Matter of fact, happy with 2 minutes. Yeah, you know, the Metroid Prime 4 trailer for Switch 1 in March was over 3 minutes long, remember. So, like, I think they could do 10 to 15 minutes, and I think that'll be plenty of info for everybody to be happy. I don't think you need much more than that. After that, you're just spoiling the game at that point. I don't think it needs a demo either, but they've been releasing... They may just release the demo they've been showing everybody at these events, and that'll be fine. But everyone's seen that demo. So yeah, I don't think we need anything much more besides the release date, advertising, whatever they need to do, and then like have us buy the game and play it. I don't think there's much more that we need. Because at this point, I think everyone's just ready to play the game. But, you know, if Nintendo wants to really, like, pump the advertising, that's on them, right? So, like, they did that with Metroid Dread, and I think it actually helped the game. because I know a lot of Metroid fans were angry at Nintendo with Metroid Dread because they felt they over advertised the game, they overshowed the game too much, too many trailers, too much showing all the beams. They showed like almost pretty much all the upgrades except for the final one. They didn't show that because it was a story spoiler, but they showed pretty much everything else of Metroid Dread. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo does spoil Metroid Prime 4 a bit in that sense. I hope they don't, but don't be surprised if they show too much of this game before they release it because they want newcomers to buy the game. Nobody was upset. Oh yeah, they were. Yes, they definitely were upset. I was there. I remember seeing people getting very upset that they thought they were spoiled. The game was being spoiled to them. I won't be upset. I'll be fine. But yeah, back in 2021, some people were very upset, not happy with how much Nintendo showed of Dread. And particularly, if you remember Arlo, the Blue Muppet YouTube content creator, he was not happy about Metroid Dread being shown too much as well. So it definitely was the thing. Yeah, Steven, thanks, chat, for letting him know what the news was. They even spoiled the Chozo. Yeah, they did. Do you think it's a time travel theme? It looks like she can travel through time. Yeah, I believe it was even in the trailer. They even said it was an adventure through time and space or something like that. It said they talked about time in the actual like March 2025 Nintendo Direct. They mentioned time, but they didn't say specifically. But part of the original story idea of Metroid Prime 4 was revealed years ago. I think it was back in 2015-ish, back in the Wii U days. There was an interview with, and I did a video on this, that the producer of the game, Tanabe, wanted to do time travel, make time travel and Silex be a integral part of the story of Metroid Prime 4, and it looks like that's what they're doing. So it's not really new information. This is something that they talked about like over a decade ago about putting time travel and Silex, continuing that story, Metroid Prime 4. If they did a Prime 4, and this was many years ago. So from the looks of it, it looks like they're following that idea. Again, though, we don't know all the levels of details about that. Though we need to find out what types of time travel there could be when we actually play the game. The marketing for Dread was absolute masterclass. It's too late for that level of marketing, but they still could do a great job. I don't mind spoilers. Yeah, I mean, I think the idea behind Metroid Dread's marketing was that they were going to show a lot of the game as far as like the abilities of Samus and like the beams and everything, but they did a really good job of not showing you the story spoilers. So that they left the whole like relationship between Samus and the final boss, basically, like, what their relationship was and like everything about how she lost her powers or how she gets them back. That whole thing they did not spoil that, so that was good. They only spoiled certain bosses like Kraid, and they spoiled pretty much all of Samus's abilities. And but yeah, I didn't have any problem with that. Yeah, the background music is a mixture of Metroid Prime, Super Metroid remasters, like remixed music, Other M, and like everything is, it's like chill background music for the Metroid theme stuff. What kind of in-game content do you think will be added to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond? Oh, like game purchases? We don't know. Like, people are telling me that this in-game purchase thing is something that all games say now. I guess if they are connected to Switch Online, they have the. It's like the possibility of purchasing stuff from what people are saying in there. I should look it up though. Myself, you know how the chat is sometimes. Sometimes the chat can just say stuff and it's not true. But not that I'm not calling anybody a liar. I'm just saying I should look at the information myself. Let's see, any. So I guess they would say it like on the back. It would like say it on the back because like on the front of the games, on the front of the game boxes, it just says teen rated, but it doesn't tell you the details. You have to look at the back of the box, which is kind of not as easy to do on online. You gotta look at the actual like games, right? Let's see. Switch 2. Did you guys buy Dragon Drive yet? Okay, so look. Here's Kirby Air Riders Fantasy Violence. That doesn't say anything about in-game purchases. And you know this game's going to have in-game purchases. You know it, man. This is a Sakurai game. Oh, you did? Okay. It's okay if you did. I'm not interested in buying it, though. Dragon Drive, E for everyone. Doesn't say anything about in-game purchases here. Okay, so EA Sports FC 26. Users interact in-game purchases includes random items. All right, so this is not a given then. We just showed 2 games from Nintendo that don't have in-game purchases listed in their rating there. Donkey Kong Bonanza, in-game purchases. So maybe Donkey Kong Bonanza is planning to have DLC later and they know it already and they put it on there. I don't know, but like this is weird because I'm sure they can update this later. So this is kind of confusing, right? Because I'm almost 100% positive they're gonna have DLC of some sort for Kirby Air Riders, unless they have a complete package that's just done out of the box, right? Oh yeah, Bonanza has Amiibo. Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot about that. I don't do Amiibo. You know Madden has it. Madden has like 1,000. You could probably spend like $1 million on Madden in-game purchases. Let's take a look at more games. Mario Kart World. Doesn't say anything about in-game purchases in Mario Kart World. Does Mario Kart World have Amiibo stuff? I own the game. I don't even remember. No? Okay. But you do play this on Switch Online, right? All right. Well, I'm glad I'm looking at this because it looks like it's not a given for every game. So, Final Fantasy Tactics, Blood. Nope. There's no online purchases there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. No, doesn't say anything about that there. Definitely, this is another game here. You can buy a billion. You can spend $1 billion on WWE 2K25. In-game purchases includes random items. So like, yeah, this is like their loot boxes, right? What does Dread say? Metroid Dread. Yeah, I'm too young though to look at Cyberpunk. Let's see here. In-game purchases for Hogwarts Legacy, and it has DLC and everything. Yeah. All right, guys. I don't know, but you're asking about Metroid Dread. This is Switch 2 we're looking at. Metroid Dread doesn't say anything. Dread also has the ME amiibo. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about online purchases or in-game purchases. And you were saying that Bonanza has it because of the amiibo, but this has amiibo. This doesn't say it here. I don't know, guys. Do you think they could have a DLC later on this? I don't know. Or do you think that's just a mistake? In-game purchases for Mario Jamboree, Mario Party Jamboree. I don't know. I don't know how Apex Legends, right? Yeah, you know that's gonna say it. Metroid Prime 4. All right, Metroid Prime Remastered. Let me go back. Let me go back to Metroid. What does Metroid Prime Remastered say? Pin set. Huh. Nada. Animated blood and violence. It's the same rating as Metroid Prime 4, but Metroid Prime 4 apparently has in-game purchases. So I think it's fair, guys. I think it's fair to ask, what exactly do you think they could offer for an in-game purchase? We know that having amiibo support now isn't necessarily a given, because Metroid Dread had amiibo support and it didn't say anything about in-game purchases. So, we don't know, Alma. Could it be a Metroid Fusion skin? Could it be a Metroid? Could it be a Super Metroid skin for Samus's suit? I would be down to buy that if it's offered, like outside of the game. You know what I mean? Like, if you recall, would I buy something? Oh, for sure. But I mean, that's me. I buy stuff that I like. So if I like it, I'll buy it. But like, for example, I'll give you an example. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was just announced for Switch 2. Guess what? They're going to offer you a deluxe edition that's going to have the Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom skin, or like his shirt and his whip and everything from Temple of Doom, as an optional purchase to buy as with the like digital deluxe version of the game. I know this because I purchased that. I bought the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PC. I bought the digital deluxe edition because I wanted the Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom outfit. The normal game just gives you the standard leather jacket of Indiana Jones for $10 less. Obviously, you get more with it than just that. There's like some other like goodies they give you with it as well. But like, that's something they could technically offer to you, which of course is not like what you would want. You would want to just have it be unlockable in the game. But this is 2025, and that's what developers and publishers do a lot lately. They offer you stuff with an extra price. So you never know. I hope they don't do that. I hope it's actually something substantial that they offer, if they do offer something like that. Maybe it could be something to do with Silex, maybe have give the option to wear Silex's suit as a playable, to make yourself look like Silex while you play the game. It could be something like that. Obviously, I can't I can't think of all the creative ideas they're doing for Metroid Prime 4 because I haven't seen the full game yet. So if they have like a multiplayer mode, for example, there definitely will be likely in-game purchases for like a multiplayer mode, like maybe like extra maps, like for multiplayer, or like extra variants of different types of Samus's gunship. Maybe get the Metroid Prime 1 style, Metroid Prime 2 style, Prime 3 style, Prime 4 style. Like all the gunships are Metroid Prime, by the way. Every single game, all Samus's gunships all look a little bit different, with Metroid Prime 1's gunship looking the most different. Okay? So there's lots of stuff they could do there to take advantage of you, Metroid Prime fans. But they're warning you here. This has in-game purchases. And we just went through a list of games that are similar to single-player experiences of Metroid Prime, and they don't have that listed. So something's up here, right? Yeah, maybe customizable suits with different parts, multiplayer stuff. DLC that only Switch 2 edition Prime 4 can handle. No, I mean, this is listed for Switch 1 too, though. It's going to be the same game. Switch 2, the Switch 2 edition is going to have... They've already listed up out of the gate here. Mouse controls, that will not be on Switch 1. 4K, 60 frames per second, that's not Switch 1. 120 frames per second, HDR support, that's all exclusive to Switch 2. Okay? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 Edition is playable only on Switch 2. If you purchase Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for Nintendo Switch 1, you'll need to purchase the upgrade pack to play Switch 2 Edition. Yeah, and it's gonna look glorious. Can't wait. So yeah, like I don't know what these in-game purchases will be, but it's very exciting, I would say, kind of, to wonder what it would be. Not that I'm excited to pay money, but I'm excited to know like what type of support that Retro Studios will continue to give the game after launch. Because a lot of times, what you want games to do, you want a game to last a bit longer, right? You want people to keep investing their money into a game to be successful. If there's any game I want to be successful, it's Metroid Prime 4. So if they have substantial content that is worth purchasing, that like breathes new life into the game, like 6 months after the launch, maybe they give you a side mission, maybe there's another planet to explore. You know what I mean? Maybe they remake one of the old levels, old planets, Talon 4, maybe. Maybe you can go explore Talon 4 as a like go visit it again, or visit a planet from Metroid Prime 2 as like part of like a DLC expansion. You never know. Yeah, soundtrack, digital art book. That's true. Those are all good points. Maybe you have a save file for Prime 1 Remastered, or you get something for free, otherwise it's paid. Yeah, I don't know. Jiggly. Since Nintendo's done with Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby Forgotten Land, I can see Prime 4 getting Switch 2 only DLC that fully takes advantage of the hardware. Yeah, true. Ooh, good point. Yeah, Mark. Zero Suit Samus. You might be onto something there. We are in the Gooner timeline, so Nintendo may want to take advantage of the Gooners out there, which are you guys, and get you to buy some more risque looking Samus outfits. Not me, you. I'm not the one who streams Stellar Blade with her half naked recently. Not me. I didn't do that. Huh? I think Mark. I think Mark is onto something, huh? Hmm. Yeah, Mark. It's good thinking. Now I'm thinking about that because, like, you could technically reward the player for beating Metroid Prime 4 with a Zero Suit Samus outfit they wear for the entire game. Or you could offer that as something you can purchase as part of the digital deluxe version or premium version, and you get the Zero Suit Samus right off the bat as an option. And that would satisfy you, the Gooner, and your needs. But yeah, I'm just joking with you. But obviously, I'm gonna want to see personally all the different cool suits that Samus has, like actual suits in the game. But I could definitely see them taking advantage of the expanded audience with the Gooners out there who love the Stellar Blade stuff, because Stellar Blade is a great game. Like, even without the risque like outfits, the game is fantastic. Like, fantastic gameplay. It's a great game first and foremost. But they made a killing on that game on PC because of offering like 50 different outfits you can unlock in the game for Eve. So yeah, there's definitely something there Nintendo could technically do, or Retro Studios. Will they do it? Hard to say, but Zero Suit Samus is an option because Zero Suit Samus is a legit, actual, real thing in the Metroid universe and in Metroid Prime. You see her in her Zero Suit at the end of the games. So we shall see. That's one thing they could do. Someone mentioned a digital art book and a soundtrack. They could offer that. But I'm really interested also in seeing if this game has some kind of multiplayer component as well. Then for sure, you'll be seeing some type of in-game purchases for that. So yeah. Bayonetta suit Samus. Oh yeah, have her return the favor. Because you had Bayonetta and Bayonetta like on the Nintendo. What was it, the Wii U? And I think even, did the Switch 2 have it as well? The Switch 2 version? You could unlock the Star Fox outfit, the Samus outfit, and Bayonetta 2, right? Giving Samus a Bayonetta outfit. Wow. Yeah. Like I said, man, we're in the Gooner timeline. They'll make a lot of money doing that, if they do something like that. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I don't see them doing that much with it into the Stellar Blade territory, but like, because that game's like a mature rated game, and they're basically showing her naked, so doing like a very sexy, like, obviously, because like you saw what Samus looks like in the Metroid Prime Remastered. She looks really, really detailed. At the very end, you see her take her helmet off. So obviously they could play into a very sexy Zero Suit Samus, very curvy, whatever. And to be honest with you, she does look like Eve from Stellar Blade as Zero Suit Samus. There is a outfit you wear that's like a diving jumpsuit, like a swimsuit diving jumpsuit, like One Piece suit in Stellar Blade that looks very much like Zero Suit Samus. So yeah, they could do that. I'm leaning towards no, but like I said, you never know with how games are these days. Maybe if you guys have any other ideas for what they could offer for other game purchases besides like more multiplayer stuff or like other weapons or something like that, or other characters you can purchase maybe in the game or other levels, visiting other planets that are not in the main game, like side quests. I think that would be really cool. Like, what I've always wanted like a developer to do, like I remember in Banjo-Kazooie, I think it was Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie, um there was a secret area that was locked off, that was meant to be for like the next game, that you were supposed to be able to unlock to go into the next game, but it never happened. Um, if you guys are familiar with those old N64 games, also GoldenEye has that area in the dam where you can't get to it, but you can see it in the distance. I think it'd be really cool if they actually designed something like that in Metroid Prime 4. We're getting obviously way like beyond Metroid Prime 4, beyond what they probably will do, but it's nice to speculate. It would be cool if they did something like that. Maybe they talk about a planet that you could visit, like in one of the logs that you're scanning, but you actually can't get there in the main game, and maybe they release it later as DLC. Like, oh, remember that planet that you read about in a scan? Now you can go visit that planet and complete that mission that it was talked about in a scan, and maybe they offer that as DLC later. You never know. So it's something they could do. Lots of options. Light and Dark Samus. Yep. Nike suit Samus. That's funny. Um, Surplex 77. I still think adding a little Metroid pet would be great DLC, like just a little travel partner. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be. I don't know if that would do anything though. That should be something that's already in the game. I don't think they should actually sell that to you. That doesn't really make sense to me. Especially if you can't do anything with it. If it's just like a Mass Effect like desk uh trinket. I don't know if that would be something that they would even waste their time on. Samus can drop one F bomb. That's funny because it's teen rated. Nike suit Samus, Ferrari suit Samus. I feel like they will let us customize her suit as however else we want. You think so? I don't think the game. This is Metroid Prime. I don't think the game will. How the game progression is in Metroid Prime games will allow for that. Unless it's a blanket thing where you actually are choosing to change how she looks from the beginning, like unlocking Zero Suit Samus. Like it's like Metroid Prime 1 on GameCube had the Game Boy Advance connectivity. You could be Metroid. You could have the fusion suit for the entire game. If they do that, I could see them doing that. Lisa, you're asking about what happened? The breaking news was that Metroid Prime 4 has been rated in the United States T for teen with animated blood, violence, and in-game purchases for the first time, which means that it's probably most definitely coming out this year like we expect, and it's been rated to PEGI 12 in Europe, and as we already know, it's been rated in Korea last month, 16 and up. So this pretty much confirms that it's coming out in 2025. Like doubly confirms, even though we don't have the actual release date yet. But this is the breaking news. Nintendo is actually rating the game now. August 20th, 2025. It's been rated T for teen, animated blood and violence. Usually it's about a 3-month turnaround between rating a game and releasing it. It could be sooner than that actually, but usually it's 3 months is like the maximum amount of time or so. So yeah. That's why I'm hyped, and that's why I had this breaking news stream. We had to talk about this too, because this is something we need to think about. how much, what type of in-game purchases. This is what we've been talking about the past like 20 minutes, is about what type of in-game purchases we could have. So it's really exciting. Yeah, try not to spoil the Donkey Kong game, guys. Even though they did release a King K. Rool amiibo, but yeah, don't spoil it for other people if they haven't played it yet. Glad the game finally got rated in the United States. Yeah, exactly. Pay for e-tanks and missile packs. Oh my gosh. Now that's some EA level stuff there. Like, yeah, buy your battle pass and get your loot boxes full of e-tanks, super missiles, power bombs. Oh my gosh. Ivan amiibo skins for Samus suit. Yeah, didn't they do that with Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS? They may do something like that. Morphball skins. Yeah, I hope, since Donkey Kong Bonanza already has amiibos you can use, and other games have amiibos you can use as well. Metroid Dread has amiibos, but it didn't list in-game purchases with Metroid Dread. We looked at that earlier, guys. So I don't think, I'm not really leaning into the whole amiibo thing here. This might be something else. It might be something else. Charge beam particle effects, maybe? What are you talking about? I have the feeling that the in-game purchases are just temporary unless it's for Switch 2 version upgrade. No, this is pretty much. I mean, they have to list this if they're rating the game, pretty much. So they're something is in there they're going to be purchasing. Because we looked at other games as well earlier. If you're just joining now, so Madden in-game purchases includes random items. So yeah, this is like loot box stuff. Like you get a random like upgrade. Like, yeah, in-game purchases. Apex Legends, we know in-game purchases, random items. Dragon Drive, nothing. Didn't say anything. In-game purchases there. Mario Kart World, doesn't say anything about in-game purchases of Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong Bonanza, in-game purchases. Even though we don't know what that is, you can use amiibos in that game. But I don't recall buying anything in there unless they're planning on something later to come out. Mario Party Jamboree, in-game purchases. Yeah, we know that has it. Pokemon Legends, in-game purchases, definitely. Let's see, Chronos the New Dawn. Let's see. This Chronos the New Dawn, it doesn't list in-game purchases. This is a single-player game. Rated M for mature, blood and gore, intense violence. I will be buying this. We'll be playing this game on launch day, or I might be able even to play it before launch day. I might get a review copy. We'll see. If not, we'll play it on launch night. Either way. But yeah, this doesn't have it, and this is a single player game. Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to be a single player game, but it lists in-game purchases. Go buy that on PC, not Switch 2. I'll probably get it on PC also, but it looks really good on Switch 2. I want to support like good ports on Switch 2. I will not be buying Daemon X Machina whatever game. I saw the demo of that yesterday, and I was not I was not impressed. Looks very much like a Switch 1 game. Let's see, Cyberpunk 2077. This has DLC here, but it doesn't say anything about in-game purchases. It definitely has nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, use of drugs and alcohol. Oh, okay. The DLC is the language pack. Yeah, it has everything included on the cartridge. So it just doesn't have any in-game purchases. That's why I asked the question about Metroid Prime 4 with you guys. Is like what in-game purchases are we going to be getting here? Metroid Prime Remastered doesn't have any in-game purchases at all. Metroid Prime 4 does. Yeah, I was born in the year 1900. I'm very a very seasoned gamer. Not a horror guy, but Chronos looks awesome. What can they even offer Prime for? What do you mean? Oh, good one, Oscar. Maybe we reward with Metroid Prime 2 and 3 as DLC. Oh my gosh. That would be terrible if they did that. I mean, not terrible, but like that would be so silly. Because like they're essentially giving you 3 games for one price. That'd be great, but like, why would you ever want to have it be like some kind of like in-game purchase or unlockable like that? This doesn't make any sense. Good joke though. Prime Pinball. We know so little about this game right now that the DLC could easily be something that builds on something we don't even know yet. Exactly, Surplex. That's why I'm thinking it could be something that involves multiplayer. Because all these games we've been looking at with in-game purchases, a lot of them have multiplayer. Madden, Apex Legends, WWE 2K 2025. They all have in-game purchases. Federation Force. Oh my gosh. It was so funny. I saw somebody post the other day that it was the 10-year anniversary or something like that of Metroid Prime Federation Force or something. And people were like, yay. big whoop. trying to forget that game. Not celebrate it. The original Prime for GameCube had Metroid NES. Yeah, it's definitely a tease. I do like your idea though, Mark. Zero Suit Samus DLC. As playable in game, not as a last game like reveal, but actually playable in game. That you might be onto something there. Nintendo's like, see the true power of Switch 2. Here's Zero Suit Samus. For all you Samus fans out there. That would be funny. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna end it there for tonight. because I have to get going. But I definitely wanted to talk about this with you guys because I'm really really excited for this information. Pretty much confirms it's coming out this year. It's got to be at this point. And even though we already knew it was, we need more confirmation. We need more information, and we got it. Okay, Metroid Prime 4 rated T for teen in the United States, Peggy 12 in Europe, and rated in Korea. It's been rated in all areas now. So all we need is the release date, 2025. We were thinking probably November, early November, late October, to coincide with the release of the big book they're releasing for Metroid Prime Trilogy, and then we'll be playing it for holiday. So yeah, huge news, great news. I'm very excited. But yeah, do me a huge favor, hit that like button on your way out. Like if you haven't already, a lot of you guys have already because you've been really supportive of the channel. Thank you so much. Again, this is my 15-year anniversary on YouTube this month. So we're celebrating 15 years of this channel. I started in 2010. Thank you guys so much for your many years of support. So many guys have been here since the early days, since around before the Wii U even. So I really appreciate your support all these years we've been together. And here's to more. Metroid Prime 4. Take care.